What if I told you that one of the most powerful natural substances for male performance has been sitting in your kitchen cabinet this entire time? And what if I told you that the specific way you consume it, placing it directly on your tongue and letting it absorb before swallowing, could make a meaningful difference in how quickly and effectively it works? I'm Dr. Sophia Carter, and today I'm going to share something that ancient civilizations understood thousands of years ago, but that modern medicine has largely forgotten. We're going to explore the remarkable science behind honey, why it has such profound effects on male vascular function, and exactly how to use this golden substance to support healthy blood flow when you need it most. Now, I want to be clear from the start. This isn't about miracle cures or overnight transformations, but the research behind what I'm about to share is genuinely compelling, and countless men have found that incorporating this simple practice makes a noticeable difference in their readiness and responsiveness. So, if you've been looking for a natural approach that actually has science behind it, stay with me. This could be exactly what you've been searching for. Let's begin by understanding why honey is so remarkably different from other natural substances when it comes to supporting male function. Honey is not simply sugar. This is perhaps the biggest misconception that causes people to dismiss it. Yes, honey contains natural sugars, primarily fructose and glucose. But reducing honey to its sugar content is like reducing a symphony to individual notes. You miss everything that makes it extraordinary. Raw, unprocessed honey contains over 200 different bioactive compounds. These include enzymes, amino acids, organic acids, minerals, vitamins, and an incredibly diverse array of polyphenols and flavonoids. The exact composition varies depending on the flowers the bees visited, which is why different types of honey can have different effects and potencies. What makes honey particularly relevant for male vascular health is its impact on nitric oxide. Now, if you've heard me discuss male function before, you know that nitric oxide is absolutely central to the entire process. It's the signaling molecule that tells blood vessels to relax and expand, allowing blood to flow where it needs to go. Without adequate nitric oxide, the physiological response simply cannot occur properly, regardless of how much desire or stimulation is present. Research has shown that certain compounds in honey, particularly the flavonoids and phenolic acids, can support nitric oxide production and protect nitric oxide from being broken down too quickly. This dual action, both increasing production and extending the functional life of nitric oxide, makes honey uniquely valuable. But there's another mechanism at work here that's equally important. Honey has been shown to reduce oxidative stress in blood vessel walls. Oxidative stress is one of the primary causes of endothelial dysfunction, which is the medical term for when the cells lining your blood vessels stop working properly. When endothelial function is impaired, blood vessels can't dilate effectively, and this directly impacts male performance. By delivering antioxidants that combat oxidative stress while simultaneously supporting nitric oxide pathways, honey addresses the problem from multiple angles. This is why it can be more effective than single compound approaches that only target one mechanism. Now, let's talk about why the method of consumption matters so much. Specifically, why placing honey on your tongue and allowing it to absorb before swallowing can be more effective than simply eating it with food. The tissues under your tongue and throughout your mouth are remarkably efficient at absorption. This is called sublingual and buccal absorption, and it's the same principle used by certain medications that dissolve under the tongue for rapid effect. When compounds are absorbed through these tissues, they enter your bloodstream directly, bypassing the digestive system entirely. When you eat honey with food, it travels to your stomach, gets mixed with digestive acids, passes through your intestines, and eventually the surviving compounds are absorbed and processed by your liver before entering general circulation. This journey can take anywhere from 30 minutes to several hours, and a significant portion of the beneficial compounds may be degraded along the way. When you place honey directly on your tongue and allow it to coat your oral tissues before swallowing, some of those bioactive compounds begin absorbing immediately. The sugars in honey enhance this absorption by increasing the permeability of the oral mucosa. You're essentially creating a direct pathway for honey's beneficial compounds to enter your bloodstream. This doesn't mean that swallowed honey provides no benefit. It absolutely does, and the compounds that do survive digestion still contribute to your overall health. But for more immediate effects, the sublingual route offers a meaningful advantage. The technique is simple. Take approximately 1 tablespoon of raw, unprocessed honey. Place it on your tongue and resist the urge to immediately swallow. Instead, let it spread throughout your mouth, pressing it against the roof of your mouth and allowing it to coat the tissues under your tongue. Hold it there for 30 to 60 seconds, letting it slowly dissolve and absorb. Then swallow the remainder. Some men find it helpful to do this approximately 30 to 45 minutes before they anticipate needing the benefits. This gives time for the absorbed compounds to begin exerting their effects, while also allowing the swallowed portion to start its journey through the digestive system. Not all honey is created equal, and this is absolutely critical to understand if you want to experience real benefits. The honey you find in most grocery stores has typically been heated, filtered, and processed in ways that destroy many of its beneficial compounds. Commercial processing prioritizes shelf stability and visual clarity over nutritional value. That crystal clear, perfectly golden honey that pours smoothly from a plastic bottle has often lost much of what made it valuable in the first place. What you want is raw, unfiltered honey. Raw honey has not been heated above natural hive temperatures, which preserves the delicate enzymes and other heat-sensitive compounds. Unfiltered honey retains traces of pollen, propolis, and other hive products that contribute additional beneficial compounds. The source of the honey matters too. Different flowers produce nectar with different chemical profiles, and these differences carry through into the final honey. For supporting male vascular health, certain types of honey have shown particular promise. Buckwheat honey consistently ranks among the highest in antioxidant content. Its dark color reflects its high concentration of phenolic compounds. Studies have shown that buckwheat honey has significantly greater antioxidant activity than lighter varieties, and antioxidants are crucial for protecting blood vessel function. Manuka honey from New Zealand has received considerable attention for its unique compound called methylglyoxal, which contributes to its remarkable antibacterial properties. But beyond its antimicrobial effects, Manuka honey also contains high levels of flavonoids that support cardiovascular and vascular health. Cedar honey from Yemen and surrounding regions has been prized for centuries as a male vitality tonic. Traditional use often predates scientific understanding, and in this case, modern research has begun to validate what traditional practitioners observed. Cider honey contains unique compounds related to the jujube trees from which it's derived. Chestnut honey is another dark variety with high polyphenol content. It has a slightly bitter edge that not everyone enjoys, but its dense nutritional profile makes it worth considering if you can acquire it. Forest honey, sometimes called honeydew honey, is produced when bees collect secretions from trees rather than flower nectar. This type of honey tends to be very high in minerals and has a complex flavor profile, along with robust antioxidant content. If you can't access these specialty varieties, local raw honey from a trusted beekeeper is an excellent option. Local honey has the added benefit of being produced from plants in your environment, which some practitioners believe contributes to overall health benefits. Let me share some additional insights about how to maximize the effectiveness of this approach. Timing your honey consumption relative to meals can make a difference. Taking honey on an empty stomach, or at least 2 hours after eating, appears to enhance absorption and effect. When your stomach is full, digestive processes are already engaged, and the honey gets caught up in general food processing rather than receiving special treatment. Consistency matters more than occasional large doses. Rather than taking a lot of honey once in a while, you'll likely see better results from moderate amounts taken regularly. Many men find that a tablespoon in the morning and another in the evening provide steady benefits. Combining honey with certain other substances can enhance its effects. One traditional combination involves mixing honey with raw cacao. Cacao is extremely rich in flavonols that support blood vessel function through their own mechanisms. When combined with honey's compounds, the two appear to work synergistically. Another powerful combination is honey with ginger. Ginger has been shown to support healthy circulation and has its own effects on nitric oxide pathways. A small piece of fresh ginger grated into honey creates a potent mixture that many men find particularly effective. Cinnamon is yet another complementary ingredient. True Ceylon. Cinnamon, not the more common cassia variety, has been shown to support healthy blood sugar metabolism and vascular function. A quarter teaspoon of Ceylon cinnamon mixed into honey adds another dimension of benefit. Some practitioners recommend adding a small amount of black seed oil to honey. Black seed, also known as Nigella sativa, has been studied for its effects on male reproductive health and shows promise for supporting hormonal balance and vascular function. Let's address the question of blood sugar, because this is often the first concern people raise when discussing honey consumption. Yes, honey does affect blood sugar. It contains natural sugars, and those sugars will enter your bloodstream. However, honey's impact on blood sugar is considerably more complex and generally more favorable than refined sugar or corn syrup. The glycemic index of honey varies by type, but generally falls in the moderate range. More importantly, honey contains compounds that appear to actually support healthy blood sugar metabolism, rather than simply spiking and crashing. The flavonoids and other bioactive compounds in honey have been shown in some studies to improve insulin sensitivity. For most healthy men, a tablespoon or two of honey per day is unlikely to cause blood sugar problems. However, if you have diabetes or significant insulin resistance, you should discuss any dietary changes with your healthcare provider. The benefits we're discussing must be weighed against your individual metabolic situation. It's also worth noting that the fructose in honey, unlike high fructose corn syrup, comes packaged with numerous other compounds that modulate its effects. The whole food is different from isolated fructose, just as eating an orange is different from drinking a glass of sugar water. The effects of regular honey consumption extend beyond immediate vascular benefits. Over time, consistent intake appears to support overall cardiovascular health in ways that compound the more immediate benefits. Honey has been shown to support healthy cholesterol ratios, with some studies showing improvements in the balance between beneficial and harmful cholesterol types. Since cardiovascular health and male performance are intimately connected, anything that supports your heart and blood vessels ultimately supports function throughout your body. The anti-inflammatory effects of honey also accumulate over time. Chronic low-grade inflammation is one of the hidden enemies of male health, contributing to vascular damage, hormonal imbalances, and tissue degradation. Regular consumption of anti-inflammatory compounds helps keep this background inflammation in check. There's also emerging research on honey's effects on testosterone levels. Some animal studies have shown that certain types of honey may support healthy testosterone production, possibly by protecting the cells responsible for hormone synthesis from oxidative damage. While human research in this area is still limited, the preliminary findings are intriguing. The minerals in honey, including zinc, selenium, and boron, are all relevant to male hormonal health. These minerals serve as cofactors in the biochemical pathways that produce and regulate testosterone and other important hormones. While honey isn't a major source of these minerals, regular consumption contributes to your overall intake. I want to take a moment to discuss the historical context of honey's use for male vitality, because this isn't a new discovery. We're rediscovering wisdom that ancient cultures understood empirically, even if they couldn't explain it biochemically. In ancient Egypt, honey was considered a gift from the gods and was specifically prescribed for matters of male vigor. The Ebers Papyrus, one of the oldest medical texts in existence, contains numerous references to honey-based preparations for supporting male function. Traditional Chinese medicine has long recognized honey as a tonic for vital energy, specifically the kidney energy that in Chinese medical theory governs reproductive function. Honey was often combined with herbs in complex formulas designed to support male health into old age. In Ayurvedic medicine from India, honey is considered a yogavahi, meaning a carrier substance that enhances and delivers the benefits of other ingredients. This aligns remarkably well with modern understanding of how honey can enhance the absorption of other compounds. Islamic medical traditions, particularly the writings of Ibn Sina, also known as Avicenna, recommend honey specifically for maintaining male capabilities. The Prophet Muhammad is recorded as saying that honey is a cure for many ailments, and this recommendation influenced centuries of medical practice throughout the Islamic world. Greek and Roman physicians, including Hippocrates and Galen, prescribed honey for a wide range of conditions, including those related to male function. The Greek word for honeymoon actually derives from the ancient practice of newlyweds drinking honey wine for the first month of marriage to support fertility and vitality. This cross-cultural convergence is significant. When completely independent medical traditions all arrive at the same conclusion about a natural substance, it suggests they were observing real effects. Modern science is now beginning to understand the mechanisms behind what these traditions observed. Let me offer some practical guidance for incorporating this practice into your daily routine. Start with high-quality honey. This is non-negotiable. Invest in raw, unfiltered honey from a reputable source. Yes, it costs more than commercial honey, but the difference in actual benefit is substantial. Think of it as an investment in your health rather than a grocery expense. Begin with a smaller amount if you're not accustomed to consuming honey. A teaspoon is sufficient initially, and you can increase to a tablespoon as you observe how your body responds. Be patient and consistent. While some men notice effects relatively quickly, the full benefits tend to develop over weeks of regular use. Commit to at least a month of consistent practice before evaluating whether it's working for you. Pay attention to how you feel generally, not just in intimate situations. Improvements in energy, mood, and overall vitality often accompany the more specific benefits we've been discussing. These broader improvements reflect honey's positive effects on your overall biochemistry. Keep your honey properly stored. Raw honey should be kept at room temperature in a dark location. It doesn't need refrigeration and actually shouldn't be refrigerated, as cold temperatures can accelerate crystallization. If your honey does crystallize, that's actually a sign of quality, not spoilage. You can gently warm it in warm water to restore its liquid state. Gentlemen, the simple practice of placing raw honey on your tongue and allowing it to absorb before swallowing represents a convergence of ancient wisdom and modern understanding. It's accessible, affordable, and backed by both traditional use and emerging scientific research. This is one of those rare instances where doing something enjoyable, because honey does taste wonderful, also happens to be genuinely good for you. That's a combination worth embracing. I'm Dr. Sophia Carter. Thank you for your time today, and here's to your continued health and vitality.